Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about Netpicker at a high level. So basically, this is going to be a high-level overview demo for Netpicker. And we're going to go over common features that you need to know to get started with this software. But if you want to learn more about it, each feature, you're going to have to refer to the other videos that we have in the playlist. So I'm using a sandbox environment. This is a shared environment that everyone can use. It is public and you're provided with credentials as well. You can fetch that from the website. This is the dashboard. We have some graphs and more information. And for example, there is a device section. And as soon as we import those devices, then the devices are ready and we can run some tests against them. After all, this is the whole idea behind Netpicker, and that is for us to run automated tests against the devices, get some results, generate some reports, and all the fancy things that come with it. This is the devices section. If I go to devices, I can add devices either manually using SSH. I can import them from Netbox using an API endpoint and token. Slurped, same thing, endpoint and token. But Slurped is definitely the preferred method, and use Slurped as much as you can because Slurped and Netpicker use Netmiko in the backend. And with Slurped, the device names are basically the exact same thing that Netpicker knows. So both Netpicker and Slurped know the same device name, the same syntax. So it is way easier to make sure that the devices are imported and we have reachability and connectivity using Netpicker. So there is that. In the devices section, we can schedule jobs. We can schedule policy jobs and backup jobs. This is the vault, basically the credentials, the place where you store your credentials. And we're going to use Netmiko in the backend to handle SSH connections. We can get some backups. Let me go to one of them. Not sure what these are, but the backups would appear here. This is the config backup, and this is the command backup. The backup for each command that you have in your policies, and to be more precise, in your rules section. So we'll see that as well. We have policies here. And policies are just collections of rules. In each policy, we have a bunch of rules. And for example, I'm going to choose, not sure what these are, so I'm going to create a policy, call these test. The policy is created. Now, if I want, I can go to rules and add a rule. So these are going to be our simple rules or Python rules. So we have two types: simple rule, which is pretty simple and there is no coding needed. But with Python rule, you have to have some PyTest knowledge. So even if you don't have PyTest knowledge, you don't know how to construct the PyTest script, you can use our ChatGPT collection. And this is the Netpicker. This is a ChatGPT collection for Netpicker. It is trained based on PyTest scripts. And for example, you can ask it to generate code for you, to generate tests for you. There's that. I can go to results. We have a separate video on this one as well. If you run your policies, then the result of the output of those rules that you ran would appear here in this section. You can generate some reports from those results in PDF format or CSV format. You can have graphs, visual graphs, and more. And there is also the admin section, which is about licensing and logs and user management and that kind of stuff. I can also show you something else. If I go to devices, go to one of the devices, maybe this one. If I click on this, then you see the properties. You can edit them. You can also have the CLI, and this is basically a web-based SSH connection to the actual device. For example, from here, you can run commands, show run, and not sure if we have privilege level 15. We do. So show run is run against the Cisco device. There is also an API documentation here. Click on the question mark API documentation, and this is a Swagger page. You can interact with Netpicker in an automated fashion using only APIs as opposed to doing it manually in the GUI. We have different sections. Again, we have a different video on how to use these APIs. You can also test them in the browser. These are the slots that you need to fill. Maybe for some of them you need to provide some bearer token or credentials to be able to bypass the 401 unauthorized. So that is what I wanted to show you in this video, and that wraps up the demo on Netpicker. See you in the next one.